Hey everyone, so I wanted to share with you another layout using the My Scrappy bag from my little scrapbook store, the Crepe Papers Fresh Bouquet. And I'm going to be using some punches, some of the washi tape. We're going to get to that a little bit later. So I primarily have the layout kind of figured out. And so I'm just going to start really kind of putting it together. Okay, so I took the cut apart sheet and I cut out the pieces that were basically like already in the shape of a tag, and then some of the others I cut out, and I'm just going to use the tag shape to create them as a tag. So that black and white one right there I turned into a tag using it as a guide from the previous one, and the flower paper on the left side, the bluish one, that one I traced and trimmed into the tag shape as well. And then I'm just using my crocodile to do my hole punches, and we're gonna have them all face like this. I recently got the We Are Memory Keepers. This is the enforcer, so you could put a little sort of like a little cover over top of your tag. It completes it, and I like the way it finishes it off. My bestie Beatrice had one in her video, and I was like, wait, what's that? And how do I get one? So of course I went to Amazon, and now I have one too. So I decided that I wanted to put a dark blue one on the other three so they would all kind of match that top one. I'm not going to put one on it because it's already kind of like built in on the paper. So there was this specialty gold kind of like vellum paper that came with the kit, and I cut that down to 4 inches wide, so it's 4 by 12. And I'm gonna get that ready. I'm gonna just trim it down, I think by like 2 inches, either 2 or 1. Oh, 1 inch I think I did. And then I'm just going to make the banner. Now with vellum, of course, it's always interesting in how you attach it to your projects, because you can see some of the glue and stuff behind it, but we also have that large section of the grid that's going to go across it, so you're not going to see it. So of course in that area I'm loading it up because you're not going to be able to see it. And on the bottoms and just in a few select places, I'm just putting a couple of dots, so that way it'll hold it down, but it's not going to show a whole lot, because it does dry clear. And then if anything is showing as I add stuff to it, it may get hidden anyway. So right now I'm gluing down all of my little enforcers, so that way those are all done. And now we're going to start on this piece. Now for this piece, I am going to wind up inking my edges, just so that way it gives it a little bit of dimension. You can also back it if you wanted to, give it a little bit of a matte piece, but in lieu of doing that, I'm just going to use the inked edge to help give it a little bit of dimension, because obviously it stands off, stands out on top of the gray, but I just still wanted a little bit of definition on it. So I'm just using some of the tape runner. I'm going to grab the art glitter glue, and we're going to go ahead and put some of that down, using the art glitter glue as a sort of like a time delay, so that way if I put it down and it's not even or straight, then I can pull it back up and it's not going to mess with anything. See how I was able to pull that side up and just slightly adjust it, because it seemed like it was just a little bit further down on the one side. And then there you have it. Now this little tag, I decided to add this because it was the perfect shade of pink to match, and a perfect spot for me to be able to put my date stamp once everything was done. So I'm laying them all back out again, and I was thinking with this one, do I want to lift any of this up? As far as with the foam tape, I knew I wanted to put the photos down, but I was also thinking, do I want to put a mat on the photos? Because these are smaller. I want to say in the layout that I'm following, which I'm going to, it's up here in the right hand corner. Yes, in that kit thing itself, the photos were, I think, 2.25 by 3, and my photos are actually 2 by 3, so they're a little bit smaller, but it works for the particular tags that I'm using. So I found a piece of fun foam, and I decided that I was going to put the fun foam behind the individual tags. Just kind of measuring, making sure it's slightly off, and then I'm gonna cut 3 others because I know that'll fit. And then that little strip that I have left over, I'm just gonna cut it up and use it on the last tag to get it popped up as well. Just a little dimension, just to give it a little something something so it's not all flat. Because sometimes you want it flat and sometimes you want just a little bit of interest, right? Because I was thinking I could also mat the photos and then put a piece of the fun foam underneath the photo if I put the tags flat. So there's different ways you could do it for sure. And normally what's funny is when I'm doing any type of a grid style, I kind of like obsess about trying to make it straight and it has to be perfect and get the T-square out and all that. I don't think I did that on this one. I was literally like, I'm putting this one down. I'm putting this one down. Okay, make sure they're like this far apart from the edge. Done. And then, and so, you know, if it's straight, fantastic. It looks straight to me. If it's not, too late now. It's glued. Okay, so now I'm taking some black and white baker's twine, and I'm just making some loops for the tags and trimming them down. I like using the baker's twine. I also have jute, but since I have that kind of like the black and white with the camera and then that bottom right hand flower card, I just decided to add in the baker's twine so that way it ties in more of the black and white. And then for the title in the center, I'm going to use the puffy sticker that says Our Story. And what I'm journaling is the first time that I met my best friend, Beatrice, who will be doing a collab in September. Every Tuesday, we're going to be having a video that goes up, and it's both of us using the same kit, which is called Reflections from Altenew, and we're going to be doing the same sketch at the same time. So, like, you'll see us, we're picking different papers. We don't know what the other one is doing or choosing, and we're going to see how it turns out. It's gonna be fun. But this is when I first met her. Her and her husband were coming back up from Florida, and they stopped here in North Carolina to visit, and we had breakfast together. So this is us meeting in the parking lot, and of course, you know, at the end of breakfast we had to take some selfies. So that is what I'm scrapping, and so that's okay, so we're going to continue on. Now, I decided that the ephemera piece, I wanted to put the puffy sticker title on top of that, kind of mimic the circle that's on the actual sketch. And all I did was kind of fussy cut off the leaves, and so that way I could adjust it and move them to another spot instead of it being where it was with the ephemera piece. So I'm taking one of the foam stickers, the foam, they're almost like a foam thicker, I guess, of the flowers, and putting that on the one tag. That's all that's going to be on that one, because I still like the pattern paper and I kind of want it to stand out. But I'm going to go ahead, I trim down the mats for the photos, because I don't want you to see a large amount of the black paper, just a little bit of something to kind of separate it and have it stand out, but I don't need a whole like quarter of an inch or anything like that. I just want it a little bit of something. All right, and then we're going to attach those to the 2 tags at the bottom. So I knew I wanted to put me and Beatrice there because I like the flowers, kind of doing another frame around the mat. And then on the blue paper, the selfie with the 3 of us. So I'm going to attach that one there. And then I'm putting a little bit of glue behind the foam piece because I want to make sure it definitely stays. And we're going to start taping these all down. I put the tape runner with some of the art glitter glue. And this one's going to be the first one. And then everything else is going to be lined up based off of that first placement. And you see, I didn't measure. I didn't do nothing. So at this point, it is what it is. And I'm just going to keep on going with the flow. All right. Now, the fun foam that I have is the kind with the adhesive on the back. I just attached the adhesive side to the actual paper. So that's why we have to add adhesive, because it's on the side that doesn't have it. And that allows you to be able to move stuff around, figure out exactly where you want it before you actually add the adhesive and stick it. All right. And then once the whole thing is done and, you know, all put together, I think I do it off camera, but I do put little dollops of glue right behind the black twine right at the base, so that way it doesn't kind of lift up. It'll be secure to the actual layout. And you can see I even put some foam behind the leaves there. And now we're going to start embellishing on this. So I put the Our Story down, a little bit of glue behind it, and I knew I wanted to create some elements to add to the cardstock. So since I had a strip of that gold vellum, I decided to grab a thinner piece of white cardstock. I'm going to put down our vellum piece here, cut that out, and then I'm going to use that piece to cut out some hearts. I think I can get I get 3 hearts out of it, and then I also get a banner page. There we go. And then I'm going to start laying down, or I'm going to grab the washi tape and start laying them down in sections, so that way we can start cutting more of the embellishments out of that. I have some flower punches, stars, and of course the hearts. So we're going to just lay them out. I'm not going to do all the washi tapes, but I'm just going to do, I want to say I wound up doing either 3 or 4. And on this one, I kind of want to line it up a little bit so it looks like one large piece. So I do shift a little bit the washi tape and kind of line it up. It's not super important to line up, but that's what I did. And then I'm going to take this butterfly one and kind of do them off-centered. So it almost creates like a checker, like a step in of the butterflies. And I want to say I only do 3 strips of those. And then I'm going to grab, this one is the black and white. It's very similar, you know, to that page that I put mine and Beatrice's picture on, where it's just the 2 of us. It matches that pattern. So I figured that would be good. Oh, so I do 4. Okay. I forgot about the super thin one. Okay. I laid this one down too, trying to make sure it's nice and even, because it'll allow me to get a few of those elements out, and it'll add a little difference, little something. So I'm just going to try and line up pieces and cut out tags and hearts and stars, all the flowers, all the little bits, because we're going to use these almost like little sequins or buttons and just kind of like sprinkle them around the page. I don't use all the pieces that I've punched, but I can save them, and I think I wind up saving them in with my washi tape because they fit right into the plastic container that they're in, and they're all in one place. And we're just going to continue punching out from the different papers, and I just cut and trim off parts so I can get into the inside. I'm trying to like line up and make sure like images are within the punch itself, and we're just going to keep punching them out. So I happen to see, I want to say it was Missy Whidden. I'm sure other people have done it before, but I've seen her do this on videos that she has where she has the washi tape, and you know, she has a lot more options with the punches. But I just wanted to do some small elements. I didn't want to use any really big elements. I don't have huge hearts, but you can also use a die cutting machine and cut out using your metal dies and stuff like that. So if you wanted to do larger pieces, so do different sizes of hearts or stars, you can use your Cuddlebugs, Geminis, you know, whatever cutting machine you have. That would be possible too. But I just wanted a lot of little bits because I didn't want too much stuff to take away from the grid itself, and yet I wanted to use some of the washi tape because I'm that washi person that likes to collect it, hardly ever uses it, right? So yeah, on that, as far as like items in the craft room that I really don't ever need to buy, washi tape would probably be one of those for me because I don't use them, but I can't help myself. Ugh, y'all, the struggle be real. All right, so now that I got those pieces cut out, we're going to bring back our image and we're going to start kind of laying some things out. So I'm going to grab some of the flags. I'm going to lay out some hearts. I'm going to put some hearts right along that top edge up at the top. I think I wind up doing either 4 or 5 up there. And then I'm going to grab some of the banners. And they're just little teeny banners. We're going to put that up in the top left. I think I'm going to put them, yep, right up in that area. I'll work on the arrangement in a second. And then I have 2 other pieces. I wasn't sure where I was going to put them. I think I wound up putting them on the bottom left-hand side of that photo. Yep, right there. And then I'm just going to start laying some of the flowers, stars around. I think I use mostly the stars and the hearts. And the ones that I cut out the shape, the flower shape, I'll just save those for another time. And then I'm just making these little clusters and 3s. And that's what I like about these little bits is literally you can have them kind of peeking out from underneath where the photo is lifted up, the tag is lifted up. You can also just create, like, make it look like splatters a little bit, kind of along the outer section. And then I had the 3 gold hearts that I did using the vellum piece over top of the white. I'm going to do 3 of those along the one edge, and we're going to start laying them down. So I'm going to grab my katana. At first I grabbed that, and then I have the jewel picker. Now this one is nice. It still has a sticky end on either end. There's a small size and then a larger size, and when it comes to paper, this one seems to work the best for that, like little paper pieces. The other one, the katana one, is probably better for gems, you know, diamond, the little things that the sequins, stuff like that. It sticks to those really well. Sometimes I have trouble with the paper. And then sometimes I'll pick it up, put some glue on it if it's a big enough piece. Sometimes it drives me crazy, so that's why I use the little pickup tools. And then sometimes it's just easier just to grab it and put some glue on it yourself, you know. And then for the banners, I'm going to start putting those together by putting a little bit of tape behind them and like lining them up as best I can, and then attaching them to the very top. So I have them going sort of like in a little tier step going down, and the highest one up is going to be the one that I connect to the straight edge, and then the other ones will step down from there, creating a little area, a little cluster right there. And then we're just going to keep adding some more pieces. So with this video going live on Sunday, I want to give you guys a heads up. So like we've been telling you, on the 1st of September is going to be starting my Besties collab series, and I want you guys to take a look at that. But there will be less videos in September, only because I'm trying to reorganize my craft room, and part of it is hard to do while you're also still creating content. So you kind of need to back away from the content to be able to focus on the room, because let me tell you, it's very hard to reorganize something, clean, and then make a mess again, and then you feel like you have to start all over again. So I'm going to have the 5 videos for each week with my bestie collab, and then if I do another video, it'll probably be my Friday sketch series, because those are a little bit quicker, and I'll probably be able to get those up more. So I'm going to do my best for that. But otherwise, anything else, I think there's only one other collab that I'm doing in September, and for the most part, I'll be able to focus on straightening up my craft area. I'm going to take pictures and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to share, because, you know, not everybody's room is Jennifer McGuire's room, if you know what I'm saying. So I just want to give you guys a heads up about that. And then on here, I'm just adding some stickers, trying to see, there was a really cute butterfly I put up in the top left hand side of the 3 of our picture, and then there was a bigger butterfly I was going to try and put down, but I couldn't get it to work. I didn't like how it looked. It was like too big. So I'm just checking my stamp. I'd already set it up on the date, and I stamped it full color and then once off, so it had like a little bit of interest there. And then I'm just going to start covering up our photos to get ready for that splatter. So I'm taking the Jen Hadfield Gold spray, and I'm putting that all over as much as I can. And then I want to say I grab, is it the white? Nope, I just did the gold. That's right. I only did the one splatter this time, and I did that on purpose because I liked the accent of the gold, and I just wanted it in one more spots, because we had the banner, we had the heart elements, like a few of the elements, and I just felt like doing the splatter and just the gold was enough. And then on the bottom right hand side, I don't do it on camera, but I do wind up drawing some lines and putting in my journaling, which you'll see in the final photos, which will be coming up shortly. So thank you guys for joining me today. Make sure you check out My Little Scrapbook Store. The links for their Facebook page and their website is going to be down in the more section. And they have crops not every month, but I know the next one I want to say is for Halloween, so it's in October. So definitely sign up with the group. It's really great ladies. They're all nice. And check out Michelle's shop. She really does a lot for her customers, and her live sales are really cool. And then so many weeks they do a bingo night where you can win prizes for that. So stop by, check it out, come join the group and have some fun with us. And I will see you guys with our next video.